Oh, what a beautiful afternoon. Oh, what a beautiful evening. Rowie's in the garden again. Why are you always in the garden, Rowie? And I'm going to share with you something really personal. And if you are a personal exercise coach, if you're a personal trainer, if you're a coach, if you're a parent, a teacher, this might be helpful. I invest a lot of time in my garden. I call it invest because I get a great return on my investment. And the reason is that when you do something physical in the garden, for example, I dig the ground, rake the ground, move rocks, move soil, and I can see the outcome, I can see the result. I've just had some fencing put in, and I said the same thing to the fencing guy. Isn't it awesome that you have a career where you have a blank paddock, and when you leave, there's fences that are of a great purpose. So every time you leave a job, you've left something behind of value. When you are working with people, it's a lot harder to get that kind of reward. So most of my life, 90% of it, is working with other people. People with challenges, people with dreams, people with goals, people who want to do something with their life. But I very rarely get to see the outcome for that. And even when people come to my college, to the Max International Colleges, for two reasons. They either want to be a personal exercise coach, something to do with exercise, and have that as their career, or they want to have a business or a business in the exercise profession. I've got my pick in my hand because I feel safe and secure and rewarded when I'm moving dirt around and getting rid of weeds with my pick. People are a little bit more complicated because people tell you what they want and they tell you what their dreams and goals are, but very few people go and do what they say they're going to do. And if you are in the same position as me where you're working with people, have you noticed that it doesn't matter what people say? I've got big dreams and big goals and plans, but how many people actually do what they say they're going to do? I'm going to open a gym. I'm going to have an online fitness business. And here's a big one for me, I want to help people to be healthy, fit and strong. People share that with me pretty much every day. And yet, so many people that I work with, they don't want to learn their anatomy and physiology. They don't even want to learn how the human body works so that they can give people safe exercise. I find that really fascinating. And I use the word fascinating for a reason because, of course, if I wasn't fascinated, I'd probably get angry or upset. But what do you do about that? And I have a solution for it, and it's a way that I live in a happy headspace, and it's a way that I can help people without getting disappointed. And there's two parts to this. One is discipline your disappointment, and the other one is that as long as you're doing your best and you're giving out the best information possible, what people do with that information is completely up to them. So discipline your disappointment. Discipline is do what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. That's my definition of discipline. And if I don't feel like, when people tell me they're going to do something and then they don't do it, and I get upset or I get sad, the reason I have to discipline that is because I don't feel like being excited about that. I feel like being sad about that. But I have to discipline that because what other people do is none of my business. I can't control what other people do. People are going to do what they do. So all I make a commitment to every day is delivering the best information possible in the safest way possible, in the most interesting way possible, in a way that people understand. And I'm sure if you're a teacher or a coach, you're in the same position where you're always looking for ways to make your information easier to understand and a way to deliver it better. So I'll use another analogy. If you write a great book and the book's got great information in it, and people buy your book, after that, there's nothing you can do with what they do with the book. They might use that book as a decoration in their house on a coffee table, but they never open it. They might use it in a cafe to stop a table from shaking around. They might put it next to the toilet so that visitors can read it when they come and sit down at the toilet. But what they do with that book is completely up to them. But if you've put your heart and soul and passion and energy into a book, you probably want people to read it, but you can't expect them to. They're just going to do with that book whatever they feel like. I'll use the example, if you don't have any weights to lift and you want to be strong, you could fill up a bag with books and lift that bag. So the book that you've written might end up in the bag that somebody's using to get strong with, but the information inside the book's never going to get read because they're never going to open it. But that's not your challenge, and isn't that important to consider and probably exciting? The people get to do what they want to do with the information that you give them. So the reason I love my garden is I can see a very distinct change when I've been digging, raking, picking, moving dirt and soil around. And when I leave at the end of the day, I can see very visibly what I've done today. When you deliver information, when you educate, when you share a message with the world, you'll never know when that information is going to add value to somebody's life or if it ever will. And to take that expectation away, I think, is a really good idea. If you expect people to learn and grow, get better, be happier, healthier, fitter, stronger because of your information, I think you'll end up having to do what I keep doing, which is discipline your disappointment. You'll have to discipline the fact that you are disappointed. So instead of being disappointed, just be really thankful that you have delivered great information, and what people do with that is completely up to them. The other thing that's a really interesting analogy, it's something I learned a long time ago from a school principal, which is the popcorn philosophy. If you've ever made popcorn in a pan, you have the little popping corns and you put them in the pan, and one pops and then another one pops and then lots pop and then they keep popping, but not all at the same time. And then you might get your popcorn in a bowl, put some salt and butter on it, take it into the lounge room to watch television, and then there might be a couple of little corns left and they pop half an hour later. Education, delivering information, inspiring people, motivating people, wanting to help people is a bit like that, I think. Some people get it straight away. Some people take a little bit longer. Some people, in fact, if you go back to the popping corn pan after you've watched your movie, you might find some corns that never pop and you end up throwing them in the rubbish bin. I think there are some people that just don't want to be helped, don't need your help, you can't help them. And why would you waste your time there when there are people who do want your information, and maybe at some stage in their life they'll do something with it. But that's not up to you, and isn't that exciting that adults get to do what they want to do? I'll use another example. I used to get very disillusioned, then I got disappointed, and now I'm just a bit fascinated about parents, because I'm not a parent, so I'm always asking parents, do you want to be healthy, fit and strong? Do you want to have a career or business that you love? Do you want to be financially free? And do you want to have great people in your life to live the example for your children? But there's a lot of parents that don't live like that. There's a lot of parents that are not healthy, fit and strong. There's a lot of parents that don't have a career or business that they love. There's a lot of parents who are not financially free, and there's a stack of parents who have horrible people in their life, which is not obviously a great example for their kids. But that's their choice, not mine. It's their life, their children. As adults, we get to choose what we want to do. And if we've chosen to have children and the way we bring them up, that's their responsibility, not mine. I just aim to, because I've been studying excellence all of my life, and it's not Rowie stuff that I deliver. I'm at Romax every day because I'd love the world to be healthy, fit and strong, have a career or business that you love, be financially free and have great people in your life. But that's something I've been studying for over 50 years. So it's a driving force for me. That isn't necessarily the driving force for other people. Not everybody wants to be healthy, fit and strong. They don't care. Some people are going to stay in their lousy, stinking job for the rest of their life, and that's their choice. A lot of people are never going to be wealthy or financially free, and that's their choice. The beautiful thing about all of that, though, it is a choice, and people get to choose. I don't get to choose for them. You don't get to choose for the people in your life. They get to choose. So we can't change people. We can't force people. We can't expect a result. It's not like the garden where you can plant a seed and hope that something grows, and sometimes in the garden it doesn't, and that's why I don't plant anything in my garden. I have rocks and I have logs and I have pretty things because I can see the results straight away. And that's one of the things, the reason I invest so much time in my garden is I get an immediate return on my investment, which is not what I get from people. I'm never going to stop doing what I do because I love what I do, and my only headspace change is I will continue to deliver information, share information, great stuff that's been shared with me, but what people do with that information, it's night time and the bugs are coming, isn't that awesome? I can't decide what people are going to do. So if you've written a book, if you do a podcast, if you're on YouTube, if you are a teacher, if you're a coach, if you're delivering great information to people, to expect people to change or be inspired or be motivated or to get better because of your information, I think is going to end up in a position where you may at some stage have to discipline your disappointment rather than being disappointed with people not changing, not getting better, not improving their life. Just be very grateful that you've got the information, you've got the ability to share it, and you want to share it, and what people do with it after that is completely up to them. So it's getting dark now. The sun's just gone down. The sky's pink. We've got a bit of snow on the mountain, and it's a beautiful evening. And that's why I've invested my whole day with people. And now I'm outside at the end of the day so that when I finish my day, I can actually see a result. So may you find a hobby like mine where when you do it, you can actually see a visible result, so that the information that you're sharing with your world, if you don't see a result from it, it doesn't disappoint you. It just excites you to keep doing what you do. So that you can sing like I do every day. I feel good. Na, 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 na. I knew that I would now because it's a beautiful evening. Check it out. It is so incredibly beautiful. Woohoo!